You are now listening to the Mythic Rare podcast with your host, Graham Pollard.
All right, welcome back to the Mythic Rare podcast. We have a special episode this week. We are joined by Mythic Championship VII competitor Alexander Steyer, also known as Sorquixe, Team Aether guy, member of the Aether Hub, so it's always good to support the Aether Hub community and also to hear from a Mythic Championship competitor. But what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up? Thank you for letting me in the show, man.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
absolutely.
good, and I'm excited to talk about it.
Sweet. So I don't know too much about your Magic history, but I'm guessing this was probably the biggest tournament you've competed in.
I mean, yeah, I only started in Amonkhet, so I didn't have too much opportunity to attend any big tournaments, and yeah, this was pretty exciting.
Nice. And then, so you qualified for this via the Mythic Championship qualifier weekend, right? So that's like over 1,000-person tournament, and you finished in the top 16 of that. So how was that experience?
That was pretty amazing. I mean, I went to like 4 GPs in my lifetime, I think, and then like I did the 3 MCQs on Arena as well before, and I never even made day 2. So that was the first time I made day 2, and then all the way through, that was honestly just amazing. I lost a single game that whole weekend. That was to LSV. I had to play him twice, day 1. So pretty fantastic record, and I kind of still can't believe it.
Yeah, I would say so. What deck were you using for that? That was still when Oko was not banned, right?
Yeah, obviously I played the Oko deck.
Yeah.
Just obnoxious.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's not too much else to play then. But so this tournament was obviously you had a lot more options to choose from. And I know you had mentioned you were unsure of your deck choice, but you ended up going with a Jeskai Fires deck, playing the Fae of Wishes package. What did you think about that deck overall? Like, what made you go in that direction, playing Fires and also playing the kind of the Fae of Wishes sideboard plan?
Okay, so I thought that Jeskai Fires was, like, in a vacuum, the strongest deck, even a bit stronger than like the sacrifice decks, even though they grind really well. I thought that the power level is just so high, you get so much damage in 1 or 2 turns when you get the Fires out. And the reason I chose the Fae was because like the deck had a huge target on its deck, right? I mean, it was kind of the deck to beat, or one of the 2 decks to beat, if you compare it to Sacrifice as well. I thought that you get into a lot of situations where you need some cards like Planar Cleansing, Ember Cleave, or Casualties War to get back into the game. And I thought that I got enough time because the format is not that fast to assemble the combo with the Fae, and the Fae is not too much downside in like while playing because you can always ditch it to the Cavaliers. Sure. But this sideboard is a big downside. Like, you can't bring it to many counter spells. Your sideboard is kind of clogged up with spaces. So, I mean, if I submitted Fires again, I would probably still submit Fae. Like, I'm quite convinced that you need sometimes the cards. Like, you got so many silver bullets, right? It's so good. Sure. I'm so convinced about that, but I am just not very happy with my Jeskai Fires choice at all. I mean, it's not like Simic Oko where you know that it's the best deck and it's the best deck to beat, but it's still not easy to beat. There's not many cards that beat it. You can't really play a deck that beats it, and Fires is kinda easy to beat when you know that you're playing against a lot of Fires. Like, counter spells are so good, discard is so good. A huge target on its back, and yeah, and I mean, it kind of did do well at the tournament as well, right? I mean, it was the most submitted deck, and only one guy went the top 8, like PV.
Yep.
And that's because PV is honestly amazing, and I still don't know how he did it.
Yeah, he's unreal. Yeah, and I remember the commentators in his top 8 game were saying there's like 4 or 5 moves in a row that, like, they never would have expected the play that he made, and every single one of them worked out. And then you're just like, well, there's a reason that guy's made, what is it, like 24 top 8s or something like that.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Exactly. Like, yeah, I thought that, like, when I dropped out, like, after the first 4 games, I was like, wow, deck choice was really bad. And then I saw the other guys play with it and was like, yeah, it's really bad. There were so many flash decks as well. And he still made it, and the plays were insane. Like, the deck is not easy to play, right? There has so many choices, even though it may not seem like it at first glance. But he really did a lot of right decisions. I feel like he won with handicap almost, because like the deck was so easy to hate on, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So when you were testing, you kind of assumed that it would be, if not the Fires, if not the highest played deck, like one of the top 2 highest played decks, it sounds like.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, from a power level standpoint, I would say that Fires and Sacrifice are the 2 best decks, right? But I knew beforehand that the cat matchup was kind of a bit worse, because people started playing like Casualties, and Brontodon used to be very good, but now it's a bit worse. Junt is actually a little bit better because Mayhem Devil actually dies with Steyer.
Yeah.
And I figured that I thought that not too many people would play Flash, and I thought that a little bit more people would play adventure aggro stuff, you know, like Fires is so good against that. And then so many people played Flash, and it was like one rule deck, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. I totally predicted wrong.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anyone saw the Seth Manfield Simic Flash deck coming.
Yeah, they kind of broke it.
Yeah, they definitely did, having all 3 players make the top 8. To be fair, they're all like amazing players.
Yeah,
so,
but you know, when you're like at such a tournament, the whole MPL is involved.
Right.
You gotta be more than amazing, you know.
So I know you played Andre Maguchi in your first round. How is it going up against the MPA? Like, is it intimidating at all because they're in the MPL, or is it just like any other game and the skill level is just higher?
Okay. So I was kind of intimidated before the whole thing started, you know. But then the day before the tournament, there was a social media day, and everyone already gathered, and I had the chance to talk to basically every MPL member, and like Maguchi is so nice, it's really hard to get intimidated.
Yeah.
He's such a nice person. And then when I got paired against him, I told him that I'm gonna get revenge for our Twitch rivals, because we got paired and he smacked me 2-0, but he smacked me 2-0 again.
It happens, and he had a great run, so you can't kick yourself.
You know, after such a tournament, you can't really hate yourself because you lose to good players. You know?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Who were you testing with in this one?
So I was testing with Preddy. He was in it as well, like Preddy and
okay.
I was testing with Chowkster, actually. And you know, I mean, we all 3 of us brought the same deck.
Yeah.
Like I brought the Fae, but they brought Fires. Obviously, thinking that the deck was like in a vacuum strong enough. We were all wrong.
Yeah.
I tested with a friend of mine as well, and I play tested a lot of cat matchups, because I honestly thought that every other single matchup I would be able to outmaneuver. And like, for example, the mirror, I was very prepared for the mirror because I think Fae is so good. But I mean, I didn't play a single mirror. I only played casualty decks.
Yeah, that's how it works, of course. You can never get paired up with what you're expecting to.
Yeah. I got the flash, but
yeah. So if you could do it again, if you could do it all over, would you choose the same deck, or would you go like different direction? I guess having the knowledge that there's going to be a lot of flash decks in there probably changes things.
Yeah, I would never submit that deck. I don't even know if Fires is the deck anymore. I mean, it's obviously a good deck, but if people continue playing Flash and 4 casualties and stuff, I don't think that deck is that good anymore.
Sure.
I would probably choose to play something like Simic Ramp. You know,
Okay.
that deck's really good.
I've seen a ton of people online playing the Andre Manguchi's deck, and that is a good deck.
That is indeed a good deck because it almost feels like it has no bad matchup. You know, in theory, those decks should have a bad matchup against aggro, but you know, aggro just has a very poor mana base, and you got the Love Struck piece in your sideboard, so yeah.
Yeah, definitely. How would you think you would go about beating? So the Simic deck obviously kind of broke the format for that tournament, but nobody was really expecting it. So when no one's expecting a deck, it's kind of a little bit easier for a deck to come in and break the tournament. But now that people kind of know about that Simic Flash deck, the Seth Manfield deck, how would you go about building a deck to that has an advantage in that matchup, do you think?
So if you want to play a deck that has an advantage in exactly that matchup, you just play some aggro stuff. Like you can even play Knight.
Sure.
The Flash matchup, I mean the Flash deck, it's not broken, it's not overpowered. It was just the perfect meta call, you know. It was perfect for that one tournament where not so many people participate and you know what's coming. But in an environment like Magic Arena Ladder or you know the MCQ that's gonna be happening where people will be playing all different kinds of decks, Flash has bad matchup. I mean, it has a lot of bad matchups. It just didn't have one at the tournament.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so that's good advice for everyone. So unfortunately, you didn't quite have. I mean, you went 0-4 in the tournament, but that happens. And so last Arena Championship, Miguel Duck Cruz. I always forget how you say his last name. Samui, I think. Samoas. He went 0-4 in his first Mythic Championship, but then he made the top 8 of this one. So
all right.
does stories like that kind of motivate you a little bit, or are you just really happy with what you've done this year, or you just got a extra motivation to keep grinding and get to that next level? If that makes sense.
It does make sense. I mean, after I went 0-4, I was so goddamn crushed. I went to the Steyer lobby and was like, God damn it, it might be the only opportunity in a lifetime, like the only pro tour. How can you go like 0-4? I mean, 0-4 is just obnoxiously bad. Like, that's just terrible. You didn't even have one lucky game, you know? And I was so damn crushed. And then Martin User came to me. He was like, well, how did you go? I was like, yeah, I'm 0-4. And he was like, oh, man. Yeah, dude, but that happens. And then he tried to cheer me up. And it actually works if a pro player tries to cheer you up. And then I just try to enjoy the rest of the weekend, you know. I mean, it's my only trip to America I've ever had. So
really?
Yeah, I mean, I've never been there. It's expensive. And, you know, talking to all the players, it made me feel good. And then day 2 and day 3, Martin User was there as well. And Chris Kvartek, who made it into MPL now. And before the event started, I was talking to him. I was like, "Wow, you had an amazing year. Do you get nervous and stuff?" And did some small talk and stuff. Then I tried to hang out a bit more with him. And you know, when you hear the whole Kvartek story, it's just so inspirational. Like not just for me, but for everyone. Like he started doing everything he liked. He got a supportive girlfriend and stuff. And he figured if he should quit Magic or not. But then he figured it's just too much fun to quit. And now he's in the goddamn APL. Like his year was crazy, and then he told me like, yeah, come on. If you did it once, you can obviously do it again, and it worked for me, and it's gonna work for you. And that was so motivational. I'm even gonna get Magic Online. Pioneer.
Yeah. He's had an insane year, and I totally agree with everything you were saying. Like, it's just inspirational for everyone out there to see, like, that guy basically came from nowhere this year and is already in the MPL. So if he can do it, theoretically anyone can too, except I feel like he's probably way smarter than people like me. But but that's okay. So yeah, so the actual experience. This is your first time going to America. You get to go to Long Beach. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, pretty sweet. I mean, I could never like afford anything like that. Trip from Europe to America, kind of expensive, and then Long Beach is also even more expensive.
Yeah.
But American people are nice, man. Trip was
Yeah.
very good. I haven't met a single rude person. So yeah.
Well, that's just because you were only here a couple days. Give it 1 or 2 more, and you're gonna change
I
your
mean,
mind.
obviously,
I'm
but
just kidding.
but the second I came back to Germany, like I think the like fifth person I saw, he was very rude to me already. So it's a big difference. It's like in the mindset. It's very
Sure.
big.
Does Wizards like cover the flight and hotel and everything for you guys?
I mean, indirectly,
Okay.
the minimum amount of prize money you get is like 7.5k.
Sure.
Tax, of course, but first we kind of had to pay for everything. But that's all right.
Yeah, that
You
makes sense.
you get it back.
Yeah, well, at least you didn't. So the last one's in Richmond, and Richmond is like the least exciting place in the country. And then this one's in Long Beach, which I've been to both those places. Long Beach is a million times better. So you got the correct tournament to go to. I'll tell you that.
Right, nice. The perfect tournament to go
Yep.
to.
And then Worlds is in Hawaii, which is going to be awesome. I'm jealous of that. I might have
Yeah, yeah, and
Andre write us up some media passes to go there or something.
yeah. Maybe I should have qualified for World, man. Why is nice?
Easier said than done, unfortunately. So you played against Andrea Mangucci round 1. Round 2, you went up against another MPL player, Martin Yuza. How were those games? Was it fun to play? Were they close games at all?
I mean, both were. I lost both 0-2, but I think. Okay, so one game against Mangucci, I just got mana screwed, didn't find my fourth land, but all the other games, like all the other 3 games, they were pretty close. I was 1 card away from killing Martin Yuza in both games, I think. And then the first game against Mangucci was like the whole board was just full of stuff. There was so much going on. But then he wins with, the boar, which he did a lot. Which is why I think the deck is pretty good. But I think the games were fairly competitive. Sadly, I don't know if I played poorly or not because they don't record sadly, but
yeah, they should record everyone. I feel like
they should obviously just do that. I don't know why they don't, but I mean that's how it is. I think the games were pretty good, honestly.
Yeah.
I got mana screwed in one game, but that happens.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
magic.
you'd think that there's like streamers that get invites to the tournament, and then just people are generally curious about how they played. But you'd think that they'd like provide footage for you to have. Hopefully that's something because it looks like they're improving these tournaments a lot. So I know they still got a lot of work to do. At least no computers crashed this time though, so that's good. The last two, they had a couple crash.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly thought that they would record it, and then I could review the games on my stream. But
Right.
Yeah, they kind of didn't.
Yeah. So did you stick around to watch like the top 8 and day 2? And like when it comes to the top 8, is there like a kind of like an atmosphere building where there's a lot of people sticking around, or do most people left by then?
I mean, so I stuck around the whole time, even like day 2, the whole day, because it was just so fun being there.
Yep.
Wizards did an amazing job this time, by the way. It's just the whole atmosphere and the whole tournament setting, it was really good. I mean, this time it was a bit different. It's the last MC, and for many people, like for many MPL players, it was the like win and in stuff situation. A lot of people flew out of the MPL and are now in rivals, so it was very high stakes. It was very different this time. So there were some people that just didn't come day 3. I'm not gonna name them, but who were just so crushed because they didn't make it into MPL again. So they didn't come, but other than that, the atmosphere was just really relaxed and chill, even on the top 8. Even in the top 8. it was very relaxed. It was just like the players you can't imagine, but the MPL guys, they're just so nice.
Yep.
You know, they're so chill. It's so easy to talk to them. It didn't even feel that much of a high stakes when it was top 8, even though it was crazy high stakes, you know?
Yeah, that is good. So I was talking to Alias V a couple weeks ago, and the broadcaster, one of the broadcasters for the tournament,
Yeah.
and she said that if she could change anything about the tournament, it would be to have a live audience, so like fans could pay and come watch the top 8. Is that something that you would want to, or do you think that would be maybe a little, I don't know if overwhelming is the right word, but distracting maybe?
I mean, it might be distracting for people like me who get kind of nervous because they don't have too much big tournament experience, you know? But
Right.
I always wondered why they didn't do this. I think Magic, especially Magic Arena, has the potential to be like a very big esports, even though a lot of people like, yeah, they kind of make fun of it. Like, I mean, Hearthstone's way bigger, League of Legends way bigger, you know? But I think Magic has the potential. I think the last MP was already really good. And I think live audience, I don't know why they don't have it. You know? It's just so weird to me that they still don't have it. So I completely agree with Alias V there that it would be kind of better just for the viewer experience, just for the hype, you know?
Right.
I mean, when the MPLers, when they see something on stream in the game, they're like, yeah, already, I did that matchup like 1 million times. I had that situation like 500 times. He did a nice play, and that's all right. I mean, I know he's good and stuff. But when there's an audience, whenever something happens, they're gonna cheer, they're gonna clap. It's just gonna create so much more hype. So I think they should do that, obviously.
Yeah, I'm 100% agree. I'm on the same page. Apparently, my friend was telling me the League of Legends World Championship sold out a 52,000 seat venue or something like that, something crazy. So 52,000 people going to watch a League of Legends tournament. I mean, I know Magic's not going to be selling out a 52,000 person venue anytime soon, but a couple thousand, I think, would definitely add to the hype. And Magic's a big mental game too, well, obviously. But even if you've played hundreds of times before, like a high pressure situation could lead to maybe more misplays and everything. And I don't personally think that that's a bad thing, because I think in any competition, pressure is going to be part of it.
Yeah.
So I think just adding the pressure in like a top 8 game or the championship or whatever just makes it much more enjoyable to watch from a fan's perspective. But it's just my opinion, at least on that one.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. Okay, so then you played Golgari Sacrifice twice after playing Simic Ramp, and then your last match was against Rakdos Sacrifice. So you had to go against Rakdos Sac with, excuse me, with all the stakes in the line for that game for elimination, and that was not one of the more commonly played decks in the field. So how did that match go?
Yeah. So honestly, I don't even know what that deck was. It was kind of all over the place. I think it's kind of bad, and it's the kind of deck where you feel like you just make your bad matchups not that much better, and your good matchups, which you're supposed to win, you kind of make it worse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was kind of aggro, but then it had the cat combo. It was kind of all over the place. I thought that it was a very good matchup. I won game 1, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna crush it. I mean, it's Magic. You lose your good matchups as well. You just sideboarded it in the Rotting Regisaurs, and they just clapped me down. I didn't find it scary, and it was so crazy. The games were so quick as well. It was just 1, 2, slap, dead. Couldn't do anything.
Blink and you missed it, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you draw the Clarence and not the Variant, and that's just game. I mean, that was literally it. Like, that the deck it's a good matchup, you know?
Yeah.
The kind of matchup that you're supposed to win when you play Fire. because you have sweepers, you got parry, slow down, you got big creatures to block, But yeah, pretty poor draws.
Yeah, it happens. Even if you do all the perfect preparation, you can say you're like an 80% favorite to win the matchup. Sometimes the other 20% happens.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. That's magic. I wasn't even too upset that I lost, honestly, because I kind of already expected my deck to not go well. I mean, then obviously losing the good matchup is kind of
Sure.
bad, but I wasn't too upset.
Yeah. So are you qualified for the next MC qualifier weekend?
Yeah, I'm qualified for that.
Okay. What is that? The end of this month?
It is somewhere January, I think.
Okay.
I think it's for Theros. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, after Theros. Okay, so
No, it's before Theros.
Okay. So last big Eldraine event.
One last big Eldraine, yeah.
Okay, so we'll definitely check in with you then, Sorky, and hopefully you can rally and get another qualifier from that one.
Yeah,
and,
hopefully I can do that again, man.
Twice in a row. I mean, Kvartek did it, and Miguel, I know I'm going to say his last name wrong.
Yeah, I know.
Samui, I think, is what it is. They both did it, so it's doable. And, I'm sure you're going to take all the things you learned from this tournament and go on another run. So we're all wishing you the best of luck in that. But I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you,